There we go. See what kind of see if it pops up. Boy, there's a big delay today. Oh, there we go. Seems like it's a lot longer delay and everything. Well, I already said hi to Nate and everybody, but hey, Nate, there's Crazy. Jeff is out there somewhere. Little Lone Prepper, welcome, welcome. Who else we got? Is in the house. I think that's about it for right now. Yeah, it seems like the delay has been getting a lot longer here lately. Because the other day went through the whole intro, and by the time the intro was over, it still wasn't live. And that intro was like 40 seconds long.
Is it live now? Or?
Yeah, we're live. And we got some mountain grandmas in the house.
Mountain grandma, crazy Irish.
Papa Lick. I'm gonna get. I can say it, but now I was just thinking of Giggles trying to say it, and now I can't say it. Apocalyptic Ben. There we go. Well, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your channel and tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
ArkWildman survival. I do all kinds of stuff. Bushcraft, wild foraging, even singing a little bit, wild medicals, just a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Now I was like, I kind of went and stole your picture of when you was making your syrup there. What kind of was it? Rose Hup, or what kind of rose was it that you made?
Rose petal syrup.
Oh, rose petal syrup. Okay.
Out of wild roses. It is.
Oh, okay. Okay. New member.
It is good over ice cream.
Is it? Oh, I bet. Crazy. You were already a member. Why does it say you're just a new member all of a sudden? That's weird.
She had joined twice.
I guess. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's weird. It should just reapply, not say you're a new member. Now you have to start all over again. And Greg is in here. And we got another bushcrafter in here.
Tennessee bushcrafter.
Yeah. I need to get him up here one of these days too. Because learning about the woods and stuff that you can get in, and a lot of stuff that I see you going out and foraging and stuff. I used to see that stuff, but I don't see it up here anymore. Of course, when I did it, I was down probably a good 100 miles south of here. So, like, we used to go out ginsenging, and I've looked around here, and I've never seen a sign of any ginseng in this area. Of course, you have to be careful nowadays because a lot of people will guard those patches. Because a good place, once you find a good place, you even plant the little berries and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a good patch and you remember that patch, it's some people guard that stuff.
That's kind of like the plants you ain't supposed to grow here in Arkansas. They have shotguns tied to tripwires and
Oh yeah, yep. I've came across a field or two of those. Um, when I was in Job Corps in South Dakota, Nemo, South Dakota, they the loggers would come through and chop trees down in patches, and in those patches, they'd lift the stumps and everything. The stumps would start rotting out, and they would plant inside those logs to where it looked like little trees.
mm-hmm.
Walked across because I was being young at the time. There thing called Sturgis Rally in South Dakota, and I decided I was going to walk from Nemo cross country because if I went on the road, I'd get caught. So I went cross country. About 20 of us went, and nobody thought I could make it across the terrain and through the woods and all that. So everybody went on the road. I was the only one that made it, and I got to. I stayed there for 2 days, and then I got busted, and then I had, which that was nice because I got a ride back. But that was fun. I stayed out because it was like a 3-day walk. Stayed out in the woods for a couple days, and it was nice. But that's why I said I came across a field of very strange, really big tree trunks and interesting plants.
Little magic trees.
Yep. Okay. Where did you learn your knowledge of your plants and stuff?
All 100% self-learned.
Self-learned. Okay. Mine started with my grandpa, and I wish I would have listened to him because he knew all that stuff because he lived out in the woods. Basically, he had a garden and everything. He had like acres of a garden that he would plant every year, and everybody from the area would come over and help harvest it, and it would get divvied up. And he did that every year. And I stayed with him time to time, and he taught me certain things. He's the one that taught me how to shoot and hunt certain things. Traps. He taught me a little. He said all you need is a little piece of wire, and you're good to go. And was teaching me plants and stuff. But when you're a kid, you just don't listen. It's like, oh yeah, I know. But all that stuff, learning back
taught
then,
me how to trap and stuff too.
Yeah, I wish I would have paid more attention. I remember going crawdad hunting with him and all kinds of stuff. But
yeah, I lived a lot of my life with my grandpa.
Yeah, I also like that you teach your youngins how to do this stuff, which is good. That's we need more of the old ways and teaching the youngins instead of here I'll babysit you. Here, go watch a video on this thing.
Go play Xbox or something.
Yeah,
I'd rather have them outside learning something.
Yeah, I remember because I just was walking with my granddaughter at the park, and we were coming across a big mud puddle, and it was in the grass and everything. And I remember because I posted this on Facebook a long time ago. A little video of I told my kids to go run and play in the mud, and they went right at it and they had a blast, and I got called all kinds of bad stuff because I let my kids play in a mud puddle, and I'm like, wow.
That's good for them.
Oh
That
yeah,
mud helps build their immune system.
yeah, yeah,
It don't hurt to eat a little dirt every once in a while.
yeah, and it's weird how times has changed so much that um, when I was young, we'd go out into out in the yard, drink water out of the water hose, and um, not come home until it was the street lights came on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ride in the back of the pickup truck. Now they
yeah,
want to bubble wrap everybody.
yeah. So, if you guys have any questions for Arkansas here, go ahead and use all caps or use a capital Q or something. That way, I know what your question is. I think the one when I first started watching you were doing the Fired Up Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I see a lot of Fired Up Fridays now, which is kind of funny. But that's what drawed me in. Your Fired Up Fridays, and then I started seeing you going out doing your walks and saying this plant does that, and very very knowledgeable stuff. And it's weird. There's one plant that I've always known it as waterweed, and it grows. It's usually growing by nettles, because the stinging nettles when you get them, and then you see
Mm-hmm.
waterweed right next to it, and you open it up. But like I I even Googled waterweed, and nothing pops up. If it does pop up, it's something that it's not what I'm thinking about. Um, but
Just a common name that you knew it by,
yeah,
basically.
and that's what my grandpa always said is waterweed. He says if you get stung by a bee or um, poison ivy, or you just open it up and it's wet inside, and you just rub it on and you're good to go.
I bet it's
And he,
jewelweed. Have you seen
yeah, it
jewelweed?
is. Yeah, yeah. Um, I was talking to my daughter today, and I said because I couldn't remember the dang name of it, and I said we always just called it waterweed. Um, but it is weird how uh, you grow up with a certain name, and then you try to tell somebody that no, this is a scientific name or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the same way with some of the mushrooms. They'll change the name of the things 3 or 4 different times, and
Yeah.
put it in a different class and everything. It's hard to keep up with everything.
Chicken of the woods. That there's so many names for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And there's 2 varieties. There's the white one, and then there's the
yeah,
cinnabarus one.
yeah, and I haven't. I have. Well, we used to go hiking in an area over here because that's the pretty much only legal spot we can go, unless you know somebody that lets you out on their wood in the woods and whatnot. But there used to be a lot of it growing, and then you don't see it anymore. Of course, they haven't kept up with cleaning the trails and everything.
Yeah, that's why some of these Forest Service roads,
Yeah,
they just let them grow up.
yeah. Hey, Heroic. I seen him pop in here. There's Giggles in here. Chuck C, how's it going? Oh, and I, because we were talking about this yesterday about canning on the fire,
Mm-hmm.
uh, which somebody did post something, but I didn't even think about because you just did that syrup. Um, you made up that syrup. Have you ever pressure canned on the fire?
I never have.
Oh,
Just on just on the stove.
okay.
But you can, but have to have a lot of wood to regulate the pressure, keep it.
Yeah, I remember that one because that was one of my jobs is always putting a log. He said every time you start, if you have 4 to 5 logs on there, well, not logs, but split logs. Said one goes down. You always make sure there's another one in its place. And boy, if I let that pressure go down, I'd hear it.
Mm-hmm. Not Bigfoot, dig deep ministry, dig deeper.
Yeah, a Bigfoot and Lake Fairy's in here. Um, yeah, your cooking as your little cooking ones that you do now. The cast iron.
Canteen Cup Tuesday and Cast Iron Wednesday.
Yeah. And I don't know unless you've never done it because a lot of times it irritates me to watch somebody cook and they cook directly over the fire. Like if they put something on the grill and they'll put click in it and they come directly over the fire. The flames are just like gulping over it, and I'm like, no. Um, unless you've cooked a lot on a fire, uh, there's a big difference.
Mm-hmm. I open flame cook a lot.
Yeah. Hey, Nunya, Texas.
Hey, Nunya.
I was going to watch his video today and didn't get time. Oh. Um, do you make tinctures and things like that
Oh
to put
yeah.
up? Okay. What do you think you have used the most as far
Well,
as making a tincture?
the one that sells the most is my ghost pipe tincture.
What is that?
Indian pipe or ghost pipe. It's a
Oh,
nerve vine and helps with pain and the post traumatic stress. It helps with the mental pain as well as physical pain and helps you rest better of a night.
oh, that's good. And did you make a video on that?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Then I make one out of bone set, which is when my son had the coof. I gave that. It's a great plant for fevers and flus and pneumonia. And he never had no more fever after that, and it didn't take him long to get over it. Of course, I gave him a lot of vitamin C and stuff
Yeah,
too.
yeah. That's pretty much what I just did a lot of vitamin C. Rose hip and hibiscus. I always say it wrong, but those two, and just drank the heck out of that tea. And of course, I peed funny for a while, but because then there's a lot of vitamin C.
Hmm.
But I figure that helped get past it quicker.
Your pine needles has a lot in it too.
Yeah. Again, we don't have many of them around here. You see patches of them, but like I said, unless you know somebody, you get in trouble on going on somebody's property around here. Now down south where I used to live, we used to go out in the woods all over the place and didn't have any issues with that at all. Um, Down around McConnellsville and that, we used to go ginsenging. We'd go when we couldn't find ginseng much. I'm not sure what it was. It was some kind of medicine, but it was called yellow root.
Yeah.
Um, it was back then. It was like $10 an ounce, and that's dried of the root. And we'd probably make about $400-$500 a day doing that.
Yeah, I used to dig and sell medicinal roots, but
Yeah.
the local buyer around here, he won't let you see the scales and stuff, and
Oh,
I don't trust that very well. So
yeah. Yeah, there was wet weight and dry weight. And we had our own scales and everything that we'd check it beforehand because we knew
hmm
is that they'll go ahead and try to jimmy a little bit. They'll put their finger under the scale to where you don't get as much weight. But ginseng's where it was at.
yeah,
We'd get we'd come up with 3-4 pounds of ginseng. That's dry weight. That's a lot of money. I don't know what it goes for now, but back then we made some good money. And I mean, we were always into something. A friend of mine that lived down there, and not saying I did this, but place that would buy deer. You would bring in a deer, and they'd buy it off you, in season or not. I'll just
hmm
leave it. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, how'd you do with your morel mushrooms this year?
I had a good harvest this year. Actually,
Yeah,
I found more than I usually do.
did you? Well, that's good. Well, see, that's another thing. Well, a lot of people call them that, but we call them something else. Call them peckerheads. Uh, and somebody was telling me about because that's all I knew them by. And I went out looking, and they said, "We're out. We're going to go morel hunting. What do they look like?" And found one. And I said, "That's not a morel. That's a peckerhead." No. But yeah, now I have to start calling them morels now, or people get insulted.
Bare truth, you just take and you steep them, and like you would your tea bag. And usually around here we have short leaf pine or ponderosa pine is what we have around here. But you want to make sure that, of course, you wouldn't have to worry about it. I'd hope you're not pregnant or lactating because it's
Never
not
know,
safe.
yeah.
It's not really recommended for anyone that is.
And make sure that it's not off of a tree that gets sprayed.
Yeah.
There, there's so much. Used to be you go roadside or down road tracks and get berries or whatever. Now you can't. They spray everything, and it's the bad stuff. Chantels, I haven't seen those in a good while.
Yeah, I harvested some chanterelles here the other day, some cinnabar chanterelles and some black trumpets and some yellow chanterelles.
Yeah, like so I haven't seen none of that in a long time. I did find I don't know what, like I said, I don't know if this is what they're called, lion's mane.
Mm-hmm.
I found one of those, a nice big one like that. Fried that up.
Those are good for you too.
Yeah. But that's because I don't know too many of them. I know like the chicken of the woods and lion's mane and morels and chantel, but a lot of them I don't see anymore. Okay, we got a question. Here we go.
What's the one plant to eat that will help us survive? One of the best plants you can eat is lamb's quarter. It has protein and it's a lot of vitamins and minerals, and it's kind of like spinach when you cook it.
Is that the one with the white flowers?
No, it'll have a kind of like a white film on it, and it's called duck foot is another name for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had the old man of the woods on pizza last night. Tennessee Bushcrafter.
Well,
It's a blackish looking mushroom. It's a bolete mushroom.
oh, well, I think I said that, talked about this. The old puff balls when you and they big old puffs. Seen somebody they were going to eat that on doing a video, and I hope they never did. They never ate that. I'm sure.
Now you can some of the younger ones. I eat the pear shaped puff ball all the time before, well, it's still white in the center before it ever puffs, and they're delicious.
Oh yeah, I would. After that thing go poof, though, I don't know.
No, they're not edible then.
And a lot of people were yelling at him. I hope you didn't eat that. I don't. He didn't. He really didn't talk too much about it after that.
But yeah, there's the gem studded puff ball, and there's the pear shape that I know of locally around here.
Oh, what was it? Another. You can find the wild strawberries in your yard and whatnot, and they mixed in with the grass. I had I get the health department called on me quite a bit because I have really bad neighbors because I had old trucks sitting out there, and the health department guy came up, and we were talking, and he just passing time because he had to be there, and I reached down and I grabbed one of the strawberries and I put it in my mouth, started eating it. What are you doing? You don't eat that. And I said, it's a strawberry. And it's just a little bit more, it's a little sour than the regular strawberries you grow, but they're still good. And that surprised me.
Yeah, that's why I get a lot of these creeks and rivers. I drink unfiltered water, and I get slack on that a lot too.
Oh yeah. the the purple dead nettles, the flowers. I'll reach down there and pick them up and eat them right then and there. Um, well, yeah, I just did a video on one of them because it's a little bit different for me because I'm in the city here, but
Yeah.
like my neighbors and stuff, because I have to watch because they they don't like weeds. They go out there and squirt their dandelions and all this stuff, and I have all these weeds and stuff in my flower beds and stuff because I've planted mullein and different stuff. I even replant my dandelions in my. I'll when they go to bloom, I'll take them off and I'll spread them around in the dirt. That way, I get dandelions.
That's a good healthy vegetable that you can eat too.
Oh yeah,
Well, I say vegetable, but it's weed. But
yeah,
leaves, flowers, root, all of it's edible.
yeah. I remember my grandpa used to make the wine from the flowers. He'd go out in the field and just get all the flowers. Or salad time, we didn't have enough lettuce or something. The young leaves are. I mean, a lot of the
A little bit
salads.
bitter.
Yeah, if you get them young enough, it's hard. I mean, you can tell the difference uh, when they're well grown. They are bitter, but if you boil it, it's just like spinach.
Yeah. I bet them and some bacon or fatback boiled together would be pretty tasty.
Oh yeah. The roots you can make tinctures out of the root. Just put your alcohol in there and let it set for a good while. Um, and it's that's good for your heart and all kinds of stuff. And that's what that really surprised me when I found out there. I'm not sure what medicine it is, but it's very expensive heart medicine. Uh, the same people who make that medicine also make the hot shot or whatever it's called, the weed killer.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of funny. They don't want you eating your weeds. Yeah, there's a good one.
Poke salad, yeah. I like it. I like it. The leaves, I usually boil them once. A lot of people over boil them, but really all I ever did was once, and then rinse, and then scramble with some eggs and some bacon grease. That's pretty good. And you stalk too. I have a video of cooking the stalk, kind of like okra.
Yep, I have the violets. Yeah, plantain. Yeah. Oh, there was somebody doing a video, and I cracked up laughing. Um, he must have Googled it and didn't look at the image or something, and he thought plantains grown in your yard, and he actually showed a picture of the weird bananas, the
Yeah.
plant. And I was cracking up. That's not the weed that's in your yard.
Nope.
They're the
It
same
makes a
name.
good sag too.
Oh, I cracked up laughing.
They're good for bug bites
Yeah.
and stings.
Oh, who was it? This. Oh, yarrow. Yeah, yarrow is good for the. Because I was going to do. Um, they have a town next to us, Roscoe. It's and it's an old timer town and stuff, and they have like gardens of stuff that they used to harvest and stuff. And one of it's yarrow, and they explain all the stuff for it and all that stuff. And I was going to do a video on yarrow, but stuff came up.
It's a good blood stop too.
Yeah. What was the other one? Oh yeah, Mullein. Yeah, I already did that one. And that's what's cool about this, because you can go through there and you can learn these things. If they keep up, because last year they didn't. They let it all go to weeds, which wasn't too bad, because you could still go out there and see what the plants were going to seed and all that stuff. But this year they're supposed to weed eat it and stuff, and leave certain plants where they're supposed to be. Unfortunately, they only show you the plant. They don't show you like the bad version of it, because usually a lot of plants have the poison type of it. And I wish they would show pictures of that stuff.
The lookalikes and stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of people say, "Oh, I seen this over there," and they'll go and try to eat it or use it for whatever, and that's bad. And like the white flower one, I know there's 2 or 3 good plants, but I always told my kids to stay away from, if you see the white flower hemlock, just stay away from it. Even though there's a couple good versions of that looked like that, you still stay away from it. I remember working in a oh, go ahead.
I harvest the wild carrot, and with a lot of people sometimes confuse it with the hemlock.
Yeah, that's why I said unless you're 100% sure, don't mess with it. And the way my grandpa always said is look for the purple splotches on the stem on hemlock. If it has the purple stuff, and the wild carrot's got kind of like a different stem too.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Oh, even touching that stuff, because I was in a field, clearing a field with the old sickle one time, and I came across that stuff, and I wasn't paying attention, and it burned my whole leg. I had boils on the back of my legs and stuff, and just touching that stuff. Yeah, that stuff is horrible.
And you don't want to pick any edibles around it either, or medicals, either one, within so many feet of it.
Yeah. Anyone have giant hogweed where they are?
I have not seen it. It's white, kind of like that too.
Not that I know of. Oh, Mullein, great for toilet paper. I think
you can put it in your shoes too.
Oh yeah,
for tired feet.
I never thought of that.
If you're out hiking or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I've heard of fireweed.
I believe it. The hogweed does grow here in Arkansas, but I've never encountered it.
It'd probably be more in a field type plant. Ooh, pretty much made of acid.
Yeah.
So you got what kind of videos you got planned for the future? You got any good projects or anything coming up?
Well, I want to make a solar dehydrator and do some sun dried fish. I hadn't got around to do that yet.
Ooh, yeah. I picked up this weird little suitcase, and it had two shiny plastic mirrors in it, and then it had um, little skewers that you stick through it, and it had a where you fold it up and you point it at the sun, and it had where you cook your hot dogs on it. And I was surprised how fast that
Hmm.
thing cooked. The sun cooked them hot dogs up. Um, I wish I had that thing again. I love that thing. You go to parks where they don't have the little barbecue pits or anything like that. I just flop that thing out and cook my hot dogs right then and there. Um,
That's more like a
yeah,
solar stove.
yeah.
Well, my grandma and them used to, is when I was a kid, they'd harvest peaches and apples and peel them, and they'd lay them up on tin roof to dry them for pies and stuff.
Oh yeah. Um, I'm. I remember. I remember. My grandpa would have just plants hanging up. He'd tie them up, and you'd see all along the over the kitchen. You would see whole messes of different plants up there, and that's how they'd get a big batch and they'd wrap twine around it, hang them up to dry them in the house. Um, and you smell that when you go in the house or in the cabin or whatever. You'd smell different plants. Um, and I kind of I've been kind of doing that with the stuff that I've been growing outside in the garden, like the wild herbs and stuff like that, and bringing it in, like lemon balm and stuff like
Hmm.
that. And when you come in the house and you smell that, you know it. It's just a smell. Oh, yeah, I didn't know that mullein would help with the black mold. That that black mold is it's dangerous.
Yeah, we have a ton of mullein around here.
Yeah, I just go
We even
over
have
to
what's called
a malt.
moth mullein. Moth mullein. It's kind of just like it, but it don't have the fuzzy leaves.
Oh, really? Huh? I ain't never seen
It's a
that
it,
kind. There's another question for you.
oh, I love the smell of deal. No, I ain't never messed with pennyroyal.
Yeah, we got it growing crazy over by the lake. And what's really weird is the people who mow there, they leave it growing big old flowers on it and everything. And that's what really surprised me. And um, unfortunately, the they have a lake park over here where they have trails where you walk around. It's all paved and everything. And there was this one mullein plant that I was waiting for it to turn to seed so I could get the seeds from it. And I came through one day, and evidently some kid went over and stomped on it or whatnot, and it was
Mm.
laying all over the ground. I'm like, no. So I had to go across the little pond and get it. Yeah, I like trying to get all the seeds. A lot of the mullein, if you plant it, it doesn't turn to flower until the second year.
Mm-hmm.
I even seen Homestead Aquarius dig up a mullein plant on the side of the road one day. I've been meaning to ask.
It's a very good plant.
Yep. Been meaning to ask him about that. How's his mullein plant doing? I wonder if he just harvested it or did he replant it? Yeah, whenever I did have, the sickness thingy, I just drank tea. That I added a few leaves in with my other tea, and next day my lungs were good as gold.
I never did come down with it. I was around my dad, my son. I just never did.
Yeah. My son was the same way. He didn't catch it, and he was in barracks with like 7-8 people that had it. And they said a good 98% of the people in that barracks got it. He never got it. Unfortunately,
No,
when he came back, he was kind of forced to get the juice because he was due to get married when he came back. He had another week, and they said unless you get the juice, you can't leave the base. So he had to end up getting it. Oh, what is this?
My brother, he did work in like nursing home facilities and stuff, and he had to get that too.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't so too much worried about him though, because like I said, he's always had a good immune system. I don't know.
They ain't going to talk me into getting it though.
No. Yeah, but like I said, he would have had to get it anyway because he was going to. He's stationed in Germany now, so
yeah,
him and his wife and daughter, they all had to get it, and they want me to come over and visit, and I said, well, I don't know if I can go about getting it, because I never got the measles shots, the chicken pox, all that stuff growing up. The only one I ever took was the drops, because I didn't like needles back then. So I was never took any of that stuff. But I never caught any of that stuff either. I never caught chicken pox, measles, or
I had chicken pox 3 times.
3 times? Wow.
3 times.
I remember.
And I had goat pox too.
What's that?
Goat pox.
I don't think I ever heard that one.
Yeah, there's cow pox, goat pox, chicken pox.
Huh. Well, we all know the one that they're freaking everybody out about. And
Mm-hmm.
evidently, the CDC said they come out and said that is if you got the regular uh, pox shot, then you're safe. Why is it such a big deal? I think it's just another thing to try to scare people again.
Scare tactics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When my kids had chicken pox, they told me I need to leave because grown-ups getting it, it's very dangerous. And I said, I'll be fine. I didn't get it before. I don't think I'll get it now. And I never I took care of the kids and everything. Never got chicken pox again, even as an adult.
I even
But
got the mumps in both ears before when that was going around when I was a kid.
oh yeah, that the mumps is that was a bad thing back then. Shingles. Uh-oh.
Yeah, Crazy Iris has the shingles. I think right by her ear.
Oh, I thought that was a spider bite. See, I'm way behind. I was outside all day, so I didn't get the updates. Celery seed for shingles. Yeah,
I've seen people
I,
with it, and
yeah, that's what I've heard. A lot of people uh, say it's painful.
that the goat pox was my fault. I had one. I caught it from a goat, and I was out milking one day, and I left my coffee cup laying out, and the goat drunk out of my cup, and I didn't know it.
Oh, oh boy.
It just gives you like fever blisters. Is basically all it
Oh,
does.
oh, okay. Yep, he's got the biggest smile on YouTube.
But yeah, there's different types of
Oh wow.
the pox.
Yeah, I didn't know it could make you deaf.
Most time it's around your waist. I never heard it around the head, but I guess it can anywhere.
Yeah. Oh. How's the new puppy? Did you get a new puppy?
Yeah, he was laying here at my feet. I guess he took off.
I was over there eating.
No, he's over there eating. He's pitting in the lab. He's white.
And something else.
No, I didn't even pay attention to it. It'd probably been too cloudy out last night anyway. Yeah, we just had they confirm. Well, I don't know who confirmed it, but the local sheriff department said that we had 2 touchdown in the city area tornadoes a couple nights ago. I was out there trying to film it, and until the rain came, I didn't want to get wet, so I went back inside. We're up on a hill, so I was pretty certain we'd be okay. Not that tornadoes don't go up hills, but you don't see it much. Oh,
There he is. That's Wild Pete.
Wild Pete.
I named him like Petey off Little Rascals. You know, I wished he'd had that
Yep.
circle around his eye.
Oh man, I ain't watched that in a long time. I hated when they did the updated the movie, the newer movies of that. Is it just wasn't the same. It wasn't the same.
E-Man Women Haters Club.
Yep. Oh, poor Alfalfa and Buckwheat and Spanky.
Spanky.
Wait,
Yeah,
But yeah, he'll go with me
Firefly-
out in the woods.
Oh, does he already? How's the other dogs with him there?
Oh, we're doing good. Usually around here, Apache goes wherever I go. But if I go off in the mountain somewhere or something, he stays here and guards the place. And I got that, and he can go out when he gets bigger, go out in the woods with me.
Yeah, I miss having a dog. I was thinking about the other day, and I'd like to get a dog. I don't know how well a dog would go in a house with 7 cats.
That might be exciting.
Yep. I can just see it now because there's a couple of them are real dominant cats, and they kind of rule the rest of them. But a dog in the mix, I could just hear it. It's bad enough when I'm trying to record. They come up and start meowing at me and jumping on me or something, and I'm trying to be serious and talking something, and then or when I'm in the kitchen, I have another room. Well, it's kind of like 2 rooms away, and where their litter boxes are. And I'll start recording, and all of a sudden you hear, and I'm like, no, I have to start all over again. For some reason, they have to scratch for 10 minutes when they do their business.
Mm-hmm. I used to have a couple cats. Still kids. I used to have a couple cats sitting in my lap out by the fireside out there when I do readings and stuff. And usually Apache's jealous, and they'll get to fussing sometimes.
Yeah, I've seen cats a couple times, but usually it's the dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's different when they grow up together. But when you try to introduce a new animal or something in here, I don't know how well it would go.
Yeah.
I was there was at the pound, there was a one of those big sheepdogs. It was a puppy, but I was like, I don't know how well that thing would do indoors though. It'd have to be something that you could have inside, because
Yeah.
my neighborhood, I wouldn't want to have an animal outside now. I mean, my rabbits are kind of hidden, so, and they're actually getting pretty good size now. Yeah, I don't know. These cats they're real territorial.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll sit here, which I'm surprised I don't have a cat on me right now, but usually I have a cat up here, and then one will try to jump up here, and like, oops, there's somebody already there, and then there's a standoff between them.
One jealous of the other.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And I'm still looking. Once I find some land, I'm definitely I'll have a few dogs. But like I said, I wouldn't want to have, if I had a dog outside, I wouldn't want it outside just because of the neighborhood, neighbors. Well, it's getting that time.
Is your truck back up?
Huh?
Your truck back up running yet?
Yep. I got my truck running.
Good.
It was for two little things. It was mostly labor because they had to take the drive shaft out, the front drive shaft, and to put the motor back in and do it was $800. I said, I hope that's it, because that's about all I'm spending on the main truck. So, and I've took it out, drove and everything, and it seems to be working fine. Knock on wood. But yeah, it's good to have a running vehicle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know how it is to be afoot.
Yeah. Which is good exercise. I mean, I've been walking anyway. Like I said, I went walking with my daughter and granddaughter today. It was hot.
It's about 28 miles to the nearest store for me, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, down here,
That's a good hike.
probably 6 miles to the store. But we have like a deli that's a couple miles away. But, yeah. But I didn't really have to go to the store unless I needed to, you know.
Yeah.
But it's always good to have that vehicle. Once you don't have it and have to walk around a bit, you miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ahead and let you end it with like telling people what you have in store with your channel and stuff in the future here.
I'm just doing basically what I've been doing. Keep on doing on.
Yeah, I want to see that cooking a fish on the solar dehydrator. I think that'll be good.
I gotta get it built first.
Yeah, finding time to do the little projects to put on YouTube is time consuming by itself. Like I said,
I got to escape pigs, the son said. So.
Like I said,
so I have to go round them up after a while.
That'll be fun. Like when I go to do anything with bushcrafting, I have to go out into the bush basically, and there's not too many places around here that let you do that kind of stuff. I did, like I said, I had some place that let me, and then until his wife said they didn't want their property on YouTube, so I had the shelter made and all kinds of stuff, and I had like probably 2 months of videos, and then all gone. But it's one of those things. But yeah. I want to thank you for coming up here, and I appreciate it. And for those who,
well, thanks for having me.
His links up on it's pinned at the top of chat, so make sure you go over and subscribe. You won't be sorry. Until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Tomorrow we'll be over at Jeff's. He has a thing going on tomorrow at same time, 3:00, and we'll